Welcome to Bed Crime Stories podcast. I'm your host, T. If you like all things true crime, if you like it delivered in a peaceful, tranquil manner, if you like it clear and concise without drama, then I highly recommend you subscribe. And if you like what you hear, please smash the like button. It's a free way you can help. And now, without further ado, let's dig in. Have you guys noticed the many similarities between the Sebastian Rogers case and that of Madeline Soto? Both of these teenagers went missing from their mother's homes. Both Sebastian and Maddie were living, at times anyway, with itinerant stepfather figures. The two men, Chris Proudfoot and Stephen Stearns, were not constant presences in the mother's homes or in the children's lives. Stearns seems to come and go at will, at least he seemed to come and go at will. Now he is in jail. Chris Proudfoot chooses to work as a crane operator on jobs that are far from home, and thus he was living part of the time in an RV when Sebastian vanished. Chris Proudfoot, we know, faced Child Protective Services reports. Stearns, according to Maddie's school counselor, was considered weird by Madeline. She told the counselor he ate the food in their house and he hung out in the living room. While Maddie did not confide that Stearns was essaying her, we know that he was. The damning photographs on Stearns' phone, per law enforcement, make it undeniable that Maddie was being essayed. When their kids suddenly disappeared, on the exact same days, Sunday, February 25th, into Monday, February 26th, moms Jenn Soto and Katie Proudfoot both opted not to hit the pavement and search. Jenn seemed to have little interest or motivation to look for her daughter.
We dropped her off close to school, across the street from a church, which is it's right next to the school. She crossed the street and walked to school, what we thought walked to school. My boyfriend who drove her to school drove away at that point. It was seen on video footage that she hung out in the parking lot of the church for a few minutes and then got up and walked towards the school. But she never made it that walk and that was around 9 a.m. when she got up. She never made it to school after that. It's right next to the school. I don't know why she didn't make it. I don't know if something happened on her walk along the way or if she got taken, but she never made it.
And that was the last anyone's seen of her or heard from her?
Yes. I went to pick her up after school, and she wasn't there. So I started driving around, maybe thinking she took a walk. Maybe she decided to walk to my mom's office, which is pretty close to the school as well. Drove around, and I didn't see anything. I drove back to the school. The school was closed. I emailed one of her teachers. They confirmed that she was absent all day. At that point is when I called 911 because I realized something was truly wrong.
Have you heard from any of her friends? Has she been active on any social media?
She hasn't been active on social media. None of her chats, none of her games. We did contact all her friends. None of them had seen her Monday or heard from her. There's no update.
And I have to ask this, and I know I hate doing it, but is she the type that would run away? Has this happened in the past or anything? Has she ever threatened to run away?
Never. She's never, ever mentioned anything like this before, and she's not the type to want to do this. She did accidentally leave her phone on Monday, which is kind of normal for her. She's got ADHD and very forgetful. So she left her phone at home, so there's no way to trace her. They tried tracing her school laptop, but that's off, so it's not pinging to anything.
Jen, what is your fear? I know you mentioned she's on games and stuff. Do you think she could have met somebody and tried to meet up with them?
She's open to us. She's open with us about, if she's got a crush with anyone, and she told us she had a crush on someone at school. And I looked at their messages. Nothing was weird. I looked at all of her messages, all of her deleted messages, nothing seemed weird. It didn't seem like she was talking to anyone. So I don't feel like that's the case. I feel like she may have been taken, because this is not like her at all, to just disappear and not let us know where she's going or who she's with. Yeah.
What are you getting from law enforcement? Are they actively searching for her? What happens now? Especially that she doesn't have her phone with her.
So as far as I know, they're conducting a search around the school. Behind the school, there's a Shingle Creek. There's a wooded path area that you could walk. It's a hiking path. They are going back there with their canine dogs. They've taken a piece of her clothing to see if they can trace her scent. They're also taking their own vehicles. I'm not sure what type of vehicles, but they're going into the woods to search for her. But I don't feel like that's going to find anything right now. We've had people all day on that trail sending us photos to see if anything there looks familiar and like her personal belongings, and nothing is hers. So I'm not sure where to go from here. I'm just contacting the news to get the word out, to get some help, because I'm desperate. I'm a wreck right now.
So you think that she's been taken against her will?
I do think so, yes.
As a mom, what's your mother's intuition telling you right now?
I'm trying to hope for the best, but I'm scared for her. I want her to be okay. I want her to be safe. I don't want her to come back harmed. I just want her back. Whatever that means, I just want her back.
Are you getting any updates from law enforcement? Yes, they're searching that small area, but have they gotten any hits on any scent or anything like that?
They haven't let me know anything. They haven't updated me since I spoke to them this morning. I've contacted them to get some information or to give them some leads, but I've heard nothing back.
And Jenn, there's no way that she, just being a teenager, was like, maybe had a fight with you or an argument with you and was like, you know what, I'm going to go hang out at so-and-so's house and teach her a lesson. Could that be a scenario?
I don't believe so. We actually haven't gotten into a fight in like a few weeks, or arguments or anything like that. If anything, on Sunday, she celebrated her 13th birthday with my entire family, and she had the best day. She was so happy. She showed us all her gifts. She's just a happy girl, and she showed it on Sunday night when she went to bed. She was so happy. So, she had the best day. I just, there was no moment in that evening from when she got home from the party that she had her phone or had the laptop. She went straight to getting ready and went to bed. So I know she didn't have any conversations with anyone. She didn't make plans with anyone. I didn't see any of that.
So she spent the whole Sunday celebrating her 13th birthday. Was her 13th birthday on that Sunday, or that was just like the time you guys were celebrating?
That was the time we were celebrating. Her birthday was on Thursday, the 22nd.
Okay,
she just turned 13.
But that's just so heartbreaking to be celebrating her 13th birthday, and then the very next day, that's gone. The last you've seen of her.
Yeah.
Where do you go now? Are you gonna go out there and search or look, or what is are you sticking by the phone? Are you what are you doing?
I'm staying at home, staying by the phone, hoping she just appears. I know my entire family is out looking. They've all spread a bunch of flyers. I've had people contact me that they've gone to the international airport to spread flyers, to Amtrak, to Greyhound, just any way that if someone's taken her and they're trying to take her, just to show her face, just to make sure, she's not being taken against her will.
Could Jenn Soto have sounded any less enthusiastic about looking for her daughter? She also negated the searches in the woods, saying, well, I don't think they're going to find anything because nobody's really found anything so far. So I really don't think it's going to amount to much. You get the feeling that she already knows it's a fruitless search. She knows Maddie's not there. so why bother? Katie Proudfoot has said that the police told her to stay put at home, but it wasn't too long before Katie took that a step farther and altogether moved away from the family home, the home that you'd think Sebastian would return to if he could. Forget about leaving the porch light on to guide your baby home. Katie just up and left with her husband. When she was later asked why she wasn't searching, Katie replied that Sebastian could be anywhere. Neither Jenn Soto nor Katie Proudfoot displayed a sense of urgency in finding their kids. Neither one pleaded for their children's safe return. Neither one made full use of their airtime with the media to tell us every little detail of their child's last moments before vanishing, or of their child's precious qualities. Both moms did the opposite. They shaded their kids. Sebastian was mocked for having chocolate milk around his mouth in a school photo. We were told in a sarcastic tone how he needs snacks because he's a teenager and teenagers need snacks. We were further told that he's got a goofy-looking smile. Jenn Soto said Maddie's very forgetful, and that's why she didn't take her cell phone with her to school on Monday morning. We know now that Maddie didn't take the phone because she was done in sometime before that and she never got a chance to go to school. Jen's utter lack of interest in searching for her daughter hints at her knowing that a search for a living Maddie would not be fruitful. You don't search for kids whose whereabouts and fates you already know. Jenn Soto also lied to the authorities, initially saying that she watched Maddie get dressed for school Monday morning around 8 a.m. That would have been impossible because Maddie was already deceased and propped up by the seatbelt in the front passenger seat of Stephen Stern's vehicle. More and more, I find it hard to believe that Jenn was not involved to one degree or another in Maddie's death. That's just my opinion. I'm speculating. She hasn't been charged with any crimes so far. But she was home that night, and she was home that morning. To me, it's hard to believe that Stearns could have taken a limp Maddie from the home out to his vehicle without making any noise and waking Jenn up. Jenn told the media the whole song and dance about Stearns dropping Maddie off near her school. That was a fib. Either Jenn is an accomplice to the crime, allegedly, or at the very least, she's guilty of trying to help Stearns evade detection. I believe the relationship between Jenn and Maddie was not warm and fuzzy, but rather tumultuous. Jenn allegedly told Maddie she was going to kick her out. I don't think that Jenn cared that she missed the important 13th birthday party. I think that if she had cared about that, she would have scheduled it for a different day. It was already past the actual date of the birthday, so why not push it to another day where she could have attended? I didn't get the impression that Jenn was doing much to encourage Madeline to put more energy into her schoolwork. I'm sorry, but those are conclusions that I've come to after reading what Maddie's friends and teachers and school counselor had to say, and after hearing what statement analysis have said about Jenn's interviews. The question is, will Jenn be charged at some point in connection to her daughter's tragic death? And because Jenn Soto and Katie Proudfoot seem so much alike, and their reactions to their children's disappearances also seem to be in tune, I can't help but wonder what the future holds for Katie as well. Madeline's body was found rather quickly. Sebastian remains out there somewhere. But I do feel that if he could come home, if he could make a phone call, he would have done so by now. It doesn't make me feel good to lose hope, but I'll admit that some of my hope for Sebastian has faded. I don't really believe he was abducted or trafficked. I think something happened. Perhaps an accident, perhaps a planned misfortune, and it's being covered up. Mothers of children who are truly missing, keep searching. They do leave the porch light on. They don't change the bedroom at all. They want it exactly how it was when the child was last there, and they never move from the house. They cry. They plead. They ask for continued media coverage. They don't easily move on. They don't remain silent. They welcome the attention of everyone and anyone to help keep their child's face out there and the story alive. I get the impression from Chris Proudfoot and Katie Proudfoot that they want us all to go away. They want us to be quiet. They want Sebastian sort of buried under the rug. Leave it all alone. Let it go. Well, sorry, Katie. If you don't love that kid, we all do. We might not have known him personally, but we love him from afar. We love the spirit of him that comes through from the photos. We love what Seth has told us about him. So we're not going away. Okay, the beauty tip is at the end today. And here's what it is. Are you tired of paying tons of money for fake eyelashes? I mean the kind where you pay somebody to painstakingly put them on you one by one for like 2 hours, and then you walk out to your car and you see a few of those eyelashes on your shirt and they continue to fall off rather quickly. I mean, I like getting my eyelashes done if I'm going on vacation. I feel like it saves time during the vacation. You don't have to do the mascara bit. However, I've never liked how irritated my eyes get when they're applying those things, and after I leave, they hurt for like a day. Anywho, to save money, I decided to try fake eyelashes that I put on myself. It was a total disaster until I learned about Kiss Strip Lash Adhesive with Aloe. You can get it on Amazon, and this stuff made it possible for me to actually put an eyelash on my eye and have it stick. The lashes that I buy are by, I think it's a Chinese company called Geo Color Lashes. That's Jio Color Lashes. They're inexpensive. They work great with this adhesive. The only thing I would recommend is when you're putting the adhesive on, try to keep it off your own lashes. Try to put it as close to where you're going to put the lash, so right along the line near your eyelashes. If you get the glue on your eyelashes, it's not a big deal, but it's kind of sticky. Then just grab an eyelash, anchor it on one side into that glue. It'll be tacky by this point, and press it down carefully all the way to the end. If you don't have enough glue toward the end, add a little more. You can do it. I know you can. If I can, you can. And that's it. And you're going to save a ton of money. I'm telling you, it's great. And again, no, nobody's paying me. These are not sponsored ads. I'm only telling you about stuff that I like. Until the next time on Bed Crime Stories.